No, that's built into the patch. It's velocity sensitive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the harder I press, the more it like wobbles.
But the note felt continuous. It didn't feel like you were doing that.
No, I wasn't. I was pressing down on it, but it's velocity sensitive. So it's like aftertouch. Like if I this is on the Rev 2.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
Like I don't in any.
Well, it's you can program it that way, I guess. Like for velocity.
Oh wow.
So you. Yeah, if you route something whatever to, I'm still not great at this like certain layers of sound design, but yeah, if you route the velocity to, I don't know what that would be. What would cause that wobble necessarily?
That's all
There's
no pitch.
But maybe routing velocity to LFO that's routed to something else or something, but something like that. Or routing LFO. Oh yeah, I have no idea. But it could be that. Just routing LFO to velocity, maybe. Been kind of touch and go with the Seek track. You know, I brought it with me yesterday and today, just like had it in my book bag, but didn't actually take it out. Like I appreciate the way that I'm evolving because of the work that's being done and the questions that are being asked and the ways I'm being challenged to be more specific, to be more explicit, more clear with my vision for things, and I'm really enjoying that practice. It's making me a lot sharper in an area that I wasn't aware how much needed sharpening. I've really opened up a lot where I feel like I can do pretty much anything I want to. Um, but you know, it wasn't always that way, and I don't think I always had that courage to do so, because like we can produce as producers, as creators, we can identify ourselves with the things we create, and it kind of has to have purpose, and I have to find that identity, and of like, oh, if I put this out, it's gonna represent me in some way, which is like true. But now I think in practicing it, or like in producing for someone else, especially for such an extended period of time, it's uh, allowed me to cultivate my identity, I guess, my identity as a versatile music producer that can jump from genre to genre and do it authentically, because I only create things that resonate with me. But yeah, to have that experience of producing for someone else, the stakes kind of aren't as high, right? Because yeah, my name is on it at the end of the day if you look in the credits, but yeah, it's been a way for me to kind of hide, to be honest, to kind of hide in plain sight, like to put stuff out under someone else's name that are, um, like I have no idea how people in this New York music community like view me. Really, you never really know. Um, but I like to think that I've earned some sort of some level of respect, um, in my willingness to really go there when it comes to certain genres, right? To my willingness to, like, if I do house, I really, I'm willing to go there and do it and like own that shit as like, yeah, I really fuck with this, you know? So, and this project is just going to be more of that, really doubling down on that. And I think like all of this leading into, all this is just momentum, like leading into what's coming next after that for me, which is me getting back to, again, me getting back to myself, me getting back to collaborating more with, other homies of mine in the community. And definitely being more of a facilitator in that regard too, because the beautiful thing about being a producer is you have that power. You can get two artists who would never collaborate together on a track because you have a vision for it. I mean, we like DJ Khaled albums all the time, right? That's like his whole thing. I'm going off on a tangent though, but yeah, this momentum of trying new things and being consistent with that, I think frees me up to really have a very large sandbox to play in for Surge World. Turns out there was like a conflict with my other gig. I was supposed to be there earlier than I expected. Didn't work out. And yeah, I was awake already, and I used that time to, work on album art with IGR for the single that's coming out on Tuesday. So yeah, then went to work. Had a good ass time at work today too. Like, bodied it really. Like it was like it was like country acts. It was interesting, but it was great music. And I'm feeling pretty good. I've been drinking a lot of water. You know, hell yeah. It's nice to not feel completely demolished, and to not feel completely drained after like a really full 72 hours. That feels great. So tomorrow I have some intentional me time. I have a couple meetings with people, like just for like a couple hours, and then the entire day is just like just working on myself, working on my stuff. Putting out the second single. Releasing a song once a month. I announced it, following through. That feels great. Yeah. Excited to officially release this remix. It's been released technically, but like on Mantis' album, but to drop the MP3, to drop it on my page and my terms, and tell it from my perspective, tell the story from my perspective of like how it came about and what the inspiration is behind it. This is a really special song to me. Because it's such a unique world that I didn't know that I would get to dive into. It's something I've been wanting to dive into for a while, like being such a huge fan of James Blake. Once I heard Talkin's vocals, I was like, wow. Like, I was thoroughly impressed, number one, but number two, like my immediate relation was like, wow, this really takes me to James Blake place. And it's not every day you get vocals like that. So, it was an experiment. You don't know how that shit's gonna turn out. I never did that kind of sound before. And it's one of my favorite things I've made, period. To me, that song is definitely, it feels like a work of art, Do you think? All right, I'm of the belief that there's never been a better time to be a fan of music. Like, there's just so much good music available
Right now?
right now. Do you agree or disagree?
I want to agree, but I feel like I can't, because I feel like the music in general right now, like there's a lot of oversaturation, like, which is, I guess, to your point, yeah, like, yeah, you could look literally everywhere and find something that you like, from people of all walks of whatever the fuck. So yeah, but I think my bias is also coming out because I feel like the 70s, in my opinion, was that era. Like I don't think there's ever been a better decade of music than the 70s.
In terms of the amount, I would say in terms of the concentration of the amount of music and the quality at the same time.
Mm.
But and that's because there like I think it was more curated. I think people's like issue these days is more with like the outlets that deliver music to them, like the radio or their own Spotify echo chamber algorithm, because like I'm finding dope music like all the time. It's like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Like all the time, and I don't think it wasn't happening as often back then because it couldn't, because like artists
Back then, when is back
in
then?
the 70s.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like you would hear the same record over and over again until the next one comes out and gets played on the radio.
But we're talking about hits. I'm just talking about music, period. The reason why I'm saying that is because just think about the variety of genres. And mind you, obviously nowadays the variety of genres is
Greater, much way greater.
yeah, because of time passing.
Yeah.
But at that time, you had disco, funk, your standard pop songs, classic rock songs. The precursor metal bands were coming out that laid the foundation for metal to be a thing. Punk was just starting to be a thing and was doing its own thing. Hip hop was also starting to become a thing. There's a lot of like electronic music was just kind of bubbling, especially in Europe. Like I just feel
Kraftwerk.
yeah, exactly, Kraftwerk shit. So I just feel like there was just so much, and not only just in terms of quantity, but like you said, quality. Like important genres that really shaped music after that.
But they were able to. I mean, influence is huge, but like we can't really speak about influence. Like you can't speak for influence in present time. Like we have no idea what this current era is gonna do. But
so
like,
why even make that kind of claim? Then?
No. I'm just saying like if influence is a factor, like then like it's not even a fair argument. But I'm just saying like just to like I'm always like I'd rather live in this time where like I know that like right now like on Spotify it's just awaits. It's just there. It's there for me to dig. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's similar to the way that like it would have been an artist going to a record store back in the day and like finding like a dope record, but I'm hitting a way higher hit rate, right? Especially because like the algorithm learns you and it kind of learns what you like, and and I can go to a song radio for a specific song that's in like for like might be an independent artist or band, and there's just so much good music being made that's just not popular or like under pop star term or like level of what those things were, of what those songs were. Most of those bands were like they were stars. I guess like there was a lot less under the radar.
That's true.
Music that was really fucking good.
You had to be signed for people to hear you.
Yeah.
At that time.
And a lot of those bands also, like, the record store was a graveyard for like plenty of like albums if you know. And then hip hop artists started making use out of that, just like go to a record store, they have a sale or whatever. You just get like $1, $2 vinyls and shit. You just get a whole bunch of vinyl and like bring it back to your like you just look at shit because you like the fucking cover or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you go back and you listen to it and then you find a gem. And yeah, but now it's just like I said, it's just there for you. It's like the only thing holding me back from finding my next favorite song is the fact that I'm just not on Spotify right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly where I went to when you're like, oh, so what do you listen to?
Yeah.
I don't know Spotify. I have no idea.
If I could spread my wings and fly away, I'd take off into outer space.